I've had the Nvidia GeForce 4080 FE for the last 6 months roughly. I bought it back in July for my new PC upgrade as I needed to upgrade from my 2070 and my old PC as a whole as it was starting to fail me. Now we'll get into the exact reasons why I did that, however if you wouldn't mind leaving a like and subscribing to the channel whilst you are here, as it helps out tremendously. What I wanted to just quickly mention is the build itself, just because it lays the groundworks as to the actual experience that I had with this. So in terms of the processor, I am rocking a 13900K, absolute beast of a processor, and I have it overclocked, and it works so nicely. And on top of that, I do have 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM, so yeah, this build is quite literally a beast. It cost me £3,000 to build. That also includes, obviously, everything else, but things like the capture card that's in there as well. As if anyone doesn't know, I run a channel called Exiled, which is doing nicely. I'm happy with the content and the process that it's got up to right now. And with that capture card, it's allowed me to actually move fully into covering games again. One thing that was really obvious when I first got this thing is how luxurious this feels. Not only is the packaging really insane, it's absolutely ridiculous. When I say that, I mean like absurd. It's so heavy, so dense, and on top of that, it's just a very unique packaging. It's something that you don't really see any other company trying to do. And then on top of that, when it comes to the actual look of this, the reason why I wanted to go for a Founders Edition card is because I think they just look so nice. I've kind of gone past my stage of wanting my setup and everything about it to look all the gamer aesthetic, and I really like how this looks. But now let's actually get into the meat on the bone of this entire topic, which is obviously, what is the FPS like? What is it like for things like video rendering? And I'm going to start off with videos, as that is obviously the primary reason why I upgraded this build, and then gaming was kind of a secondary like bonus thing, because I was originally planning to just use the old PC for games and then this one for video edits. However, it absolutely smashes both out of the park. For starters, before the actual render itself, Premiere Pro has hardly ever crashed on this PC. And I mean that, like so very little. I think in the entire like 6-7 months I've owned this thing, it's maybe crashed like twice. It's insanely good, and I'm honestly so thankful for the fact that it's not done massive crashes, because that was one of the biggest issues I had with my previous PC. And when it comes to render times, it's absolutely phenomenal. So for example, I upload roughly 30-minute to like multiple hours long videos over on my Exiled channel. And with that, they go out at 1080p at around 60 FPS. And those sorts of videos will take about 10 to 12 minutes to render out entirely. And that's absolutely insane. For example, I uploaded a video called Assassin's Creed Mirage Sucks, and then it was an ultimate critique. That video is an hour and 20 minutes, and that only took me around 15 minutes to render out in its entirety. However, when it comes to the actual big things, let's talk about 4K footage, which is something like this video right now. For a 10-minute video that's 4K, it will render these out within about 5 minutes. It's absolutely insane. It's around about the same speed as my MacBook Pro M1 Pro. Would I recommend getting this and building this entire thing for video editing? Probably not. I'd say this is a great hybrid build if you want to be really good at video editing renders and the video editing software not crashing on you, but on top of that, for games, as this is truly where this entire build shines, and more particularly the graphics card. So I've got a few games here that I decided to test out for this video. Obviously I've tried out a load of games, but I don't have the exact benchmarks. But for myself, for example, playing through Halo Infinite recently, and I've been enjoying just playing the multiplayer. For that, I'm looking at anywhere between 180 to 240 FPS at 60 degrees Celsius, which is really good when you think about it, and that's on maxed out settings on everything. And then with CSGO, for example, I'm looking at 380 FPS with around 50 degrees temps. And then with Minecraft, which is surprisingly insane. Everyone knows this who plays Minecraft, but for anyone outside of it, Minecraft is an insanely powerful game, or at least uses up a lot of power anyway. For that game, on max chunks, the lowest the FPS would drop down to is about 45 FPS. Obviously, not ideal, but yeah, 45 FPS, and then we'll sit anywhere between that and like 120. It was never getting above 120, and that was on maxed out everything with Minecraft, including the chunks. But then on a more reasonable level, which was about 22 for me, that's where I normally play, I sit anywhere between 120 to 144 FPS, and it does an absolutely stellar job at that. But then when it comes to its temps, it's actually a lot lot better than most games with about 40 degrees. And then I was playing through Red Dead 2, which sits at a locked 60 FPS, which again, it's locked, so it's not up to me, but it sits at that and never drops below, not even to 59, which is insane to think about. That right there will normally sit at about 60 degrees as well, so again, higher temps, but it doesn't really matter. It does the job really well. And normally if you're wearing good enough headphones, you never hear the PC. And even then, even with the PC on right now, it's so quiet in comparison to what I've ever had previous that it doesn't even matter. And then lastly, I have Apex Legends, which sits at anywhere around 120 to 144 yet again. Absolutely insane. This thing will absolutely demolish almost anything you throw at it, especially games in particular. And like I said, it's a great hybrid build for those who want to have a great video editing PC and a great gaming PC. But in particular, the 4080 Fe is absolutely superb. And I do know that there is going to be one question on everyone's mind, which is, why didn't I just go for a 4090 instead of a 4080? And the reason for this is that fundamentally I didn't want to spend an extra £450 when, yes, I'm getting a decent enough upgrade, but for everything I want to do, I only need a 4080. This build should last me as long as my previous one did. My previous one I built at the beginning of 2019, and that thing lasted me until the latter half of 2023. So I did a good 4-year stint, and I'm absolutely happy with that, and I couldn't really complain. With this, I'm hoping to get a similar sort of experience. Anyway, when it comes to a medium to long-term look at this graphics card, I have to say that it's amazing. I think it looks amazing. Obviously, it's the typical Founders Edition look, but on top of that, it runs so well. And it's a graphics card that over time, obviously, will decrease in price, which means everyone will be able to pick this up eventually and have something that does gaming at a stellar level. And with that all being said, hopefully you did enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and do subscribe for more content, as I upload every single week over on this channel. So if you are interested, make sure to check out all my other content. I've got tons more to come as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.